Hi there. So today we're going to be writing a song using Band in a Box, and specifically we're going to be using the Melodist function in Band in a Box to write a melody for a song, and it'll pop out the chords as well. And then from there, we're going to use ChatGPT to write some lyrics, help us write some lyrics to the melody. And then from there, we're going to be putting that MIDI generated from the Melodist through a software called Synth V, which will render an audio file of a vocalist singing the lyrics and the melody that we input into it. And so, yeah, the end product will be a produced song with what sounds like a real vocalist singing the melody and lyrics that we've written. So let's get started. First thing to do is select a style. So I have Jazz Waltz loaded right now. I like that. Yeah, I like the sound of this. Simple to start with. First thing, I don't have any chords written yet, so I'm just gonna get our Melodist function to do that and see what it comes up with. And if we're not happy, we can always try and generate it again. I've already kind of browsed this menu. These are all the melody functions that exist currently in Band in a Box. There's about 250 of them. So yeah, I already looked through ones that would fit, and as you can see up here, if we can sort by genre, so I sorted by Jazz Waltz. And this first one that came up with, Slow Moon River, 8ths. We could try that. I mean, this is not, I wouldn't call this a slow BPM, but it still might work nonetheless. It might, come up with simpler melodies, so that might be nice. So let's try that. And over here, we have a bunch of options. So I'm going to just leave the harmony alone for now. But I want to make sure it doesn't change the style because I like the style we have. So I want to see if we can make something work with it. So we don't want that. Sometimes you might see something written there. You just want to press clear and use real styles. That's not relevant because we already have a style loaded. So here, this is where we want to look. So chords and or melody. So I do want it to generate chords because right now we just have C major. And generate melody. I'm going to leave the solo and middle choruses off, and I'm going to leave allow style change off as well. And just, well, maybe we do want to generate an intro. That might be good. Great. And then tempos set correctly. We're just going to do one chorus for now. And we're going to write the MIDI to the melody track. Which is right here. So yeah, that looks good. So let's see what it comes up with. I'm just gonna press OK. Okay. Got our little intro here. Oh, I've got to load a synth on this channel here to hear the MIDI. Great. Great. I love the chord structure. I love the chord progression it came up with. I'm not crazy about the melody. So I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna go here, and so now that we like our chords, I'm gonna uncheck that, and we're just gonna say generate melody. Okay, and for some reason the tempo down here changed, so just make sure that's set to 140. Yeah, I think everything else is fine. Yeah, so let's try that again. So So I like everything in this melody, actually. It's cool. I don't love where it goes here, but you know, you can always change that manually. If there's like one part of the melody that's, you know, not really fitting with you, that's totally fine. So let's hear what the bridge sounds like. Sure, we can definitely work with that. So that's great. So from here, I'm going to save the MIDI file from the melody track because we're going to need that when we work in Reaper and use Synth V. So I'm going to say, okay, save file. I'm going to create okay. The title it just came up with is Welcomed Circumstances. So let's just put that down. Great. Okay, and there, it's saved right there. And now we also want to export the WAV files. One file per track, that's great. That all looks good. So render and welcomed circumstances. I'm gonna create a new folder in here, stems. And then that, because the instrument will be written there. Great. Okay, so now we're gonna open up Reaper, import everything, and see the MIDI inside of Synth V. And then we're gonna use ChatGPT alongside that to come up with some lyrics for it. Okay, so I have Reaper open now. Set the BPM to what our song was, and then it was a waltz, so change that to 3/4. And then I have my stems here, so I'm just gonna import these. Same position on separate tracks. Yep. Great. And you can see it's all lined up properly. And then we're gonna import our MIDI as well. So it says expand to MIDI tracks. So I think it probably caught the drums. Yeah. So when you export a MIDI file, it will export the drums on a different out of Box. So we're going to just delete that because we don't need it. And there, it says melody. So that's great. So that's the melody we generated. So now we want to load Synth V on this track. So we go to VST3, this one right here. Great. So here's the plugin. And so a thing to note about this is it won't actually, it'll sync up all the settings. Or it should. Oh, oops. I loaded the wrong one, I think. We want VST3, not VST3i. Yeah. Great. Okay, so you'll see that it syncs up all the settings, right? 140 tempo, and then did it make it a waltz? It's a good question, actually. I'm not sure if it can do waltzes. Oh yeah, no, it is a waltz. Sorry, I just didn't see these this grid line. Yeah, so it made it a waltz as well, so that's great. So while it does sync those sorts of settings, it won't actually read the MIDI that's on the track. So we actually have to import the MIDI into the plugin itself. So I'm just gonna delete that because we don't really need it. And we're just gonna go import this track, and then, oh, that's the old one. Right here. Right, and these are the drums that we don't need, so I'm gonna uncheck that. Okay, so clean up the imported track. What does that mean? So Synth V will, what that means is Synth V will look through the file and it'll probably find any like very short silences and close the gaps to make them legato so that the vocalist will sound more natural and it won't be very choppy. So I'll say yes to that just because it makes our job faster. And see, it didn't do it for every instance. Like there's still some silences here, which you may want. It depends on the phrase and where we place the lyrics. But for the really short silences, it should have dealt with those. Okay, great. We're gonna delete that. And okay, so now we want to load our voice. I've got Solaria loaded here. And this is kind of a softer tune, so I'm gonna do airy for vocal mode. Or maybe for vocal mode, I might go soft. Yeah. And so now I'll just play it. We don't have any lyrics typed in here, so it's just gonna be la 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 la, but you can just hear it with the track and how it sounds. La 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 Nice. Okay, so let's write some lyrics. Okay, so I have ChatGPT open here, and I have our melody on the left. So I just wrote, write me a song called Welcome Circumstances. That's the song title Band in a Box came up with. I said it has an AABA form and is a jazz waltz sang in a relaxed way and has a cheerful tone to it. So I want ChatGPT to know this isn't the most serious song. I want it, you know, somewhat pedestrian and relaxed and to match the music. So I think it's good to provide it with some sort of description of how the music sounds. And then the next part, I tried to lay out the structure of the melody. Now, the thing about ChatGPT is it cannot count syllables properly, so it won't pop out lyrics that match these. But it may get close, and so we might have to just adjust things slightly to make them work. But at least this way, it should pop out 3 phrases, and they should be somewhere around this length. And so that's why I wrote out the structure here. And then for the B section, we need 2 lines. So from all this information, should be able to give us a song with all the lyrics that match the form. So here we go. Oh. Great. See, so it gave us 3 lines, right? Just as we asked. So that's great. 3 lines, 3 lines. This one's 3 as well. So, oh, I see what it did. It doubled up. Okay. Well, that's okay. We can just choose. We can choose one from each section. So we have some options. It says, the song embraces the spontaneous and pleasant surprises life offers, reflecting a joyful acceptance and appreciation of the moment, all set to the smoothing rhythm of a jazz waltz. Okay, cool. So let's check it out. Let's see what this first line would sound like if we tried to match it up to. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, so see, it's too long. Chance rain. Also, I'm not. Here, let's use this one. This would match better. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. You dance in the afternoon. So that fits really well. La 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 la. That's awesome. Great. So let's try that out. Wind. So I'm gonna make that sustain over to the next note. So when working with Synth V, if you type in a 1-syllable word and then you type in a dash in the next note, it's just gonna hold that word onto that changed note. If it's a 2-syllable word and you were to write a plus sign, it'll sing the first syllable here and then the second syllable here. Since this is just a 1-syllable word, we're just gonna do that. And then I'm gonna continue, plays a soft tune. Great, and then moving on this line's quite fast, so it might sound a little weird, but we can try and adjust it to make it sound more natural. In the afternoon. So that's a 3-syllable word. So I'm going to just type that, and then I'm going to put a plus sign here and a plus sign there. And I'm going to move this to make sure that there's no silence. Oops. In between these notes. Great. I might do the same with these actually. Also, if there's a tiny silence, Synth V will suggest to close the gap by just saying SIL here for silence. You press that, and it'll shift the note before it closer to close the gap. And that seems okay there. Okay, great. Okay, what's the next line? It's joy in simple things. I'm just singing in my head here. I think it might sound better if we go joy, like hold that note there. So I'm gonna do that. And then in simple things. Great. Okay, let's hear what that sounds like. Wine plays. Okay, so it did wind instead of wind. So the way that we want to change the pronunciation, thing about English, right, is sometimes you run up against this where there's a million different ways to pronounce a word that's spelled the same. So Synth V has a dictionary where it gives you the phonetics for different words. So let's just do test to create a new dictionary, and then if we type a word down here like wind, it shows us the phonetics of that word, and they're also written here, right? So let's think of another word that sounds like wind. So like shin, right? We want to get the I right. So here it says IH for the I. So let's see if that works. If we type in IH here instead of the AY, and see if that changed anything. There you go. Wind sounds right now. So yeah, so that's the simplest way to go about this. As of now, there isn't a built-in system where you can right click and sort through the different ways to pronounce it, but maybe that's something Synth V can develop in the future. But yeah, so that's the workaround for now. Wind plays a soft tune. Cool. I'm just gonna change the phrase a little bit to match the words and make it sound a little better. So here we go. Wind plays a soft tune, leaves us in the afternoon. Leaves us in the afternoon. Yeah, see, this is rushed and kind of weird. So one sec here. Is a soft tune, leaves us in the afternoon. Maybe anticipate that. Maybe that'll sound better. Let's see what that sounds like. Leaves dance in the afternoon. Leaves dance in the afternoon. Maybe make this like a triplet kind of figure here. Leaves dance in the afternoon. Okay, I'm gonna play around with it a little bit to find something that I like. Like, I think it's definitely the better way to go is to adjust the melody slightly to the lyrics and trying to find the perfect lyrics, because in an instance like this, right, the melody is just so quick that there are very few lyrical lines that are going to match that perfectly. So you have to adapt a little bit here. So I'm going to go through the phrase and the song and just come up with something that feels right, but you get the process here and how it works. And so yeah. Okay, so I went through and made all the adjustments I wanted to make. So this should sound a lot more musical now, and the lyrics should flow. There are no more gaps, and the phrasing's corrected. So now the next step is I want to add a harmony, specifically in the bridge. I want to add a harmony to it, and we can actually do that in Band in a Box using a function called harmony. which will just take MIDI that we import onto the melody track, and it'll just generate a harmony onto it. And then we can re-import that into Synth V and get Solaria to sing all the parts. Now, the reason I didn't start with the harmony is that I've made all these adjustments to the melody, and if I had done it first, then I would have to go through each harmony part and make the same adjustments, right? Where now I can just use this as my base, so I won't have to make any changes. It'll save me a lot of work. So I'm just going to export this as a new MIDI file. So export as MIDI. I'll save it here in stems. Simple things melody. We'll go back into Bandit-a-Box into our old project. And this is the old MIDI file, so we want to get rid of that. So I'm just gonna erase it. Yep. And then we'll import our new MIDI track. Oops. So to import, we go up to melody, edit melody track, import melody from MIDI file, go into stems, open that, press OK. The great thing about this too is you'll notice it actually imports the lyrics that we added in Synth V with the MIDI into Bandit-a-Box, and we can see it in notation. So that's pretty cool too. So now we'll export. We'll add a harmony to this. So we'll go to the harmony button right here, and we have 250 options. Because this is a vocalist, I'm looking for voices. Here's one: Singers Unlimited. 5-part vocal harmony, closed voicing. So I think that's a cool option, especially since, you know, we're going for a jazz style here. So dense harmony might be kind of nice in the bridge. So I'll click OK to that. So now when we play, we should hear 5-part harmony. Great. So it added harmony to the whole song. We'll just want the bridge, but we can cut out the verses in Synth V. That's probably the easiest way to go about this. So now I'll just export this MIDI file. Okay, save as MIDI file. So I'll just rename this harmony. Great. And then there it is, harmony. So now we'll go back to Synth and we'll add it, import as tracks, harmony. So now this first one will be the drums, so we don't need that one. And then this second one will be the melody. We already have the melody, so I can uncheck that one as well. And then we have 4 added voices. And for this, I want to say I will process it manually because I don't want to making any changes. So I'll just click that. And there we go. We have all the harmonies added now. So next step is I want to get rid of the verses. So I'm just going to go through and quickly cut out the verses. And so we're just left with the bridge now. So I'll just play a bit of it so you can hear it in action. Here we go.
Moments like these are a breeze. Sometimes the best plans, they fall apart. Yet here we start with an open heart. Streetlights start to gleam.
Great. And that's not mixed or anything, so we'll pan some of these vocals and make them sound even better than that. But already they're sounding really good. So now we just want to bounce these as audio files so that we can have them in Reaper as separate tracks. Oops. Up the folder here, right? Destination and then file name. I'm just gonna leave it as vocals, and we can just name them as we import them into Bandit-a-Box. Well, actually, I'll just name them here. So this would be melody. I'll just say part 1. Great. Okay, and then we want to select them. So we don't need the mix down, but we want all these 5 here. And then bounce to files. Great. It does it very fast. So now if we close this and we go to stems, they should all be there. Yep, there we are. And import them. Great. So here are our vocals.
Wind plays a soft tune, leaves dance in the afternoon, joy and simple.
Great. So I'm going to go and just do a quick mix of this, and we'll hear the final product in a second here. Okay, so here's the final product now, just with a quick mix.
Wind plays a soft tune, leaves dance in the afternoon, joy in simple things. Puddles mirror the skies, the sunshine deep in your eyes. Moments like these are a breeze. Sometimes the best plans, they fall apart. Yet here we start with an open heart. Streetlights start to gleam, like a dream or in a film scene. Joy in simple